Sorry guys, I made a mistake last video. I said we are going to start working with this code alchemy, which is wrong. We are going to actually start working with SQL model, which is great. Anyway, let's start working with this guy. Well, this part will layer actual documentation has a part specifically says fast API and pydantic, which is the main part. The other parts are just bullshit. We don't want to purely use a SQL model anywhere. We just want to actually the main reason this is built is to actually work it with fast API. Actually, as the first line here says, one of the use cases where a SQL model shines the most, and the main one why it was built was to be combined with fast API. Actually, this is going to be a part of their new actually ecosystem. Dude, this guy Ramirez is a real fucking great person. I don't know, you know who I'm talking about. The guy who built this is really great person. I actually love him. He's building a new ecosystem, which is great. I like it. I truly like it. Well, anyway, let's go to this guy. Actually, for the beginning, as the this documentation is going to use well, SQLite as their database, which is great, which is not actually great, but that works anyway. That works for us, and that could be okay anyway. But we are going to use MySQL because that's my choice, and that's really more production ready database. However, let's go on this guy. Okay, I've got this already here. Going to actually start. I'm using XAMPP as my server, as my database server, which is good, which you can do use any other actually software to use it. I would like this old way of doing this, which is old as fuck anyway. And for managing my databases, I'm going to say localhost php my admin. This guy is also too old anyway, and however I don't have any production database here. That's why I don't care if you look at this. And I'm going to build a fast API course 1. I want to build a actual database that's super simple. We need to build a database to work with, and this is going between other fast API databases that I have down there, and that's cool as fuck. Okay, let's close this guy and let's learn how to connect this guy. Okay, let's go back to the actually tutorial. In this code we have all the actual parts stacked together. You know, we have the model here, we have the connection to database here, we have the actual building the tables function here, and we also have our endpoints here too. Okay, what we are going to do right now is going to make things a little bit production friendly. You know, I don't like this thing, you know, from the perspective of some dude who came from Django here. This is absolute mess. Okay, but the good thing about FastAPI is that you can define your own way of doing things. Okay, I don't know if you want to use a module based folder structure, that's on you. You can do this. If you want to just build files next to each other, that's on you. That's totally on you. That there is no problem with that. You can, as long as you can keep the files in check and do the right thing using these files, and just don't get fucked with lots of files, everything is going to be cool. Anyway, I'm going to create a new file called database. Actually, there are some suggestions in this guy's documentations about how to build up your files, but I would like to modify things some my own way. Oh, nice! Wow, I just found something right now live, dude. There's an endpoints tab on this actually based on these guys. uh, this is built, I don't know, with by anyone, and this is really nice. Okay, anyway, fuck, okay, I like this. Okay, there's a there's a tab where you can see your endpoints around here, and that's cool. That's cool. That's totally cool. Okay. Okay, in this actually database file, we are going to build our database and connect our database to the server. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's go to documentation and see how it works. Well, the first of all, we have to create an engine, and this engine is going to be our way of creating connection to the database, and this is totally similar to SQL Alchemy, which is great because you can just switch back to the SQL Alchemy if this got fucked anyway. And actually, this is the way you are going to build a SQLite database, but I'm not going to use a SQLite database. Okay, that's why I have my own. Where is that guy? I have my own URL connection to. Let me delete these guys. They have no fucking use for now. Oh, nice. And actually, this is the URL I'm going to use to connect to my database. Let me tell you the actual parts of it. Well, you just can search for your own database. I don't know if you want to use Postgres DB. I don't know if you want to go use MongoDB. Our Mongo is a little bit different probably. I don't really like those non-relational database and those shit. Fuck them, no. There's no logic in this. However, if you want to connect to your MySQL database, that is super simple here. You just build a URL that has multiple properties of your database and your server actually here, and that's going to be super simple to connect. However, let me decap this URL for you. I'm going to just copy this guy. Okay. The first part is going to be the method of connection. Actually, the server or the type of database you are going to connect. Okay, and that's in my case is MySQL plus MySQL DB, and this is just search. You have to just search for it. I don't know if you are I don't know shit DB. That's going to be some other way. Okay, but in case of SQLite is going to be a 3/ because it's a file actually. And here, let's see this. It is actually a super. This is just a simple file here, and there is no password or no connection properties like port or actually IP address to it. That's simple. Okay, that's super simple. Next is our username, and then with actually I don't know what it's called. Okay, just search that. It's a colon, dude. What the hell is wrong with me? And then you have to put your password here, and with an @, super simple. You are going to put your IP, the IP of the server you are going to use. If you are using any service online, you will get actually connection IP, or they will just give you the whole URL. That's going to make it super simple. Okay, that's going to be some weird number, which I don't know the order is right or not, and I don't care at all. And this is going to be your IP, a column, and the port that you are going to connect to your IP. In my case, actually, if you are using MySQL and using XAMPP as your server, you can just see this here. In ports, you can use it through 3306. Super simple. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to put the port here, and finally simple slash and then your database name, which in our case it is going to be what is it? This is going to be Fast API course 1. Okay, that's all that we need. Okay, now I'm going to build an engine which is going to be create engine And okay, now I need to import this guy. One point that we haven't yet installed the actually MySQL SQL model, and I'm going to install it through this nice UI SQL model. Okay, SQL model, no dash or no shit. SQL model, just simple SQL model. And if you see the name of our guy Sebastian Ramirez, and the version is 006, you are all okay. Click install, and the package is going to install anyway. Okay, package installed successfully. Get the fuck off. Okay, we're waiting for our system to index files and okay, import this name SQL Alchemy, SQL model, and SQL Alchemy. Okay, and now I'm going to click SQL model here. Now it is telling us, dude, parameter URL is not defined. Okay, and I'm just going to send URL equals URL, and I'm just going to send our URL here. Let's see, just like the code that are supposed to write. That's here. SQLite actually URL. Actually, there is no need to set URL explicitly here. And let me see. I want to set the echo true. Code to true anyway. And we don't need this guy for our MySQL database. Okay, that's super simple. And I need to create I need to create all our SQL models here, which is going to be added here, SQL model, and I'm going to add this as a function, and I'm probably going to use this function on a startup event in the main, and that's going to work it out. Okay, that's super simple. I'm going to add app dot on event start up. Super simple. Def init, and that's going to we are going to do something here, and the main thing that I would like to do is to create database and tables, which is going to be great. From database we have it imported, and that's all done. Okay, now let me see if everything is going on. Okay, there's one error, and this error is a little bit tricky. Okay, we have to says that we are lacking this library, and that's right. And there are a bunch of problems in installing MySQL client these days, and that's really weird. Okay, that's why we have to actually download the wheel file and build it locally here. I'm going to leave you a link in the description where you can find this file, and for now I'm going to just find it and copy it here. Wait a minute. Okay, just in order to set things up, for getting this thing running, getting our connection to the MySQL database running, we need this little module here. Okay, and not exactly this guy. If you search it, you will have to install MySQL client, and that's going to solve things for us. But I don't know, if you say, dude, why don't you install it this way? And this is probably going to make him actually give us error. If it did not give us error, actually that's pretty cool. But by a real high chance, it's going to make problems. Okay. Build failed, and if you search online for it, the first thing that says you have to do is to build MySQL C++ build tools, which is about 1.4 gigabytes of file, and after installation you will still get this error because I already have it installed. Okay, that's why. So What's our option? We have to download an older version and actually build it locally. Okay, I will send this link to you. I will actually put this link in the description, and you have to install it. Download one of these MySQL clients according to your version of Python. Do a version of Python and your operating system. Well, if you're running a 64-bit operating system, definitely download one of these guys, which is ending in 64.whl. If you're using a 32-bit operating system, use the other ones. And if you're using, this one is really important, if you're using a Python 3.7 version, you have to use this one, 3.8 this one, and 3.9 this one. And be careful, because if you download the wrong version, that's going to that's not going to work, definitely. Anyway, in case if you really if you are into a problem, because I've tested a lot of this. So in my case, I have to download this guy, which I have downloaded it, and I need a minute to copy this to our project. Okay, I've got the file here, and I'm going to right now just install it locally. pip install main or no MySQL client 146 cp37 cp37m win and 64, and this has to actually work. Stupid mistake. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I just copied the exact version, actually the exact file that I used for my previous projects. Let me see if this one actually worked. That's weird. This is absolutely wildly weird. Okay, I just can see these two files are the same, just as I downloaded this guy a second time, just ran into a problem. And okay, anyway, you just download this file and use pip install MySQL and your file actually, because I'm going to delete this motherfucker. Get the fuck off, bitch. Okay, got this guy done and installed. Anyway, let me see if everything is running. And by the way, I don't like to use this method of running the project anymore. I would like to set up our own way of doing this. Okay, let's add a fast API way of running things. Gonna name it main, and I am going to assign the main file to it. Let's see if this works. No problem, and actually worked, no fucking problem. And seems like that we have already connected to our database. Anyway, actually we are already connected to the database, and as you can see, this guy is using SQL Alchemy under the hoods. Actually, this is the base of SQL model. That's why you can quickly switch to SQL Alchemy if anything goes wrong. Anyway, now let's build some models, and this is going to be the final part of this session. I'm going to build actually, and you can, by the way, build a Python package here. You know, build a Python file with an init Python file init in the folder and in your directory, and I'm going to put the name of this guy models. Okay, and actually I'm going to build the base models, actually the basic models, and the main model we are going to use is going to be named user, and based on SQL model, and it automatically imported the guy. and I'm also going to set the table to true. If that was how it was working anyway. Well, yes, the table is set true, and I'm just going to copy these two rows, as that's not the point. We have not reached this point yet, and just gonna import these guys from specifically from SQL model, and everything looks fine anyway. Well, actually everything looks fine, and I'm going to import these guys from model dot base import all. Okay, that's super simple, and we probably need to import these models in our base file, or actually our database file. Now I'm repressing the controllers, and everything is done. If you see this line of SQL actually query code running, means that you are doing this totally right. Okay, so when you built your models actually in your model file, model folder, or anything you want to name it that's not as explicitly dictated to us, to I don't know, name it models file, database file, schemas, whatever you want to name it, there's no problem. Okay, so if you want to name after you build your models in your actually Python file, you just import them through to your database file. Super simple, and that's all. The rest of the things are going to be done by the SQL model itself. Okay, this video is over. We have learned how to connect to our database. We have learned how to work with SQL model. We have learned how to build models. We have learned actually how to set up our database and things like this. Anyway, see you next video, guys.